Okay. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back once more. We are live at the Roberts International Airfield, awaiting the arrival of His Excellency former President George Weah. So we're gonna keep watching here as they come out from the airport.
Now, welcome back. We are live at the Rabat International Airport as the security measures has been very tightened up right now. You can see um, more police officers have been called for to tighten the security measures. There is a signal that the former president flight has arrived. In any moment from now, he will be touching down the Rabat International Airport terminal. Here we have the the we also have Senator Nathaniel McGee of Magibi County. Yeah. So Honorable Dixon Sebo of District 16 as well, and and and, and many others stalwart of CDC are here to welcome the former president of the Republic of Liberia. Now, this is the vehicle where the former president will be getting in once he touches down the Republic of Liberia. So you can see for yourself. Well, the, the the entire airport is being shut down for now. And let me repeat, the entire airport is being shut down for now. Tighten security protocol. Those that are coming from in are not having access out. So sad. Those that is expected to go in the airport are not having access in as well. Normal business, normal activities has been shut down here at the Rabat International Airport. Few minutes where former President George Manuel Weah, tensions escalating. Here comes the former past president. Just comes the former president. Just comes the former president. As security restrictions among themselves here as to who to protect the, the former president. Security is blocking the president protocol as well. It's building up a more security apparatus. So, what you see is tension is building security apparatus as to who is to access the former as to who is to access the former president. Tension is building up here. Tension is building up. The president, the former president.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia.
Welcome back. The former president is out with a huge security presence here. State security and the former president security. Yeah, the former president has touched down, and you can see.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts.
For his feet.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions.
The former president on board his vehicle already. The convoy is expected to move successfully. Former president Weah enter the country. Well, you're watching Focus on Liberia with me. I'm Cy Augustine Mayo Jr. So we decided to reach this far to have to capture the convoy of the former president. I think he is still in there. We can't enter there now. The the protocol is too high. Like I said, the entire airport has been shut down for a few minutes. You know, all of those that are expected to travel today.
So, Michael, what's going on here now? What? Michael, is it? I don't
Can
know.
you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
We have some serious technical difficulties right now.
Yeah. And
Um,
while we look at those technical difficulties, Michael, somebody who is new to this, is it President Waka looking for trouble or former President we are looking for attention? What's going on?
Man, I think if you ask me, I think it's a little of both. I think, yeah, I think,
Now
there you have
the
it.
security patrols are now taking different ship. Um, you can see we we we
Wow.
Hmm. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you were
um,
talking. You said a little bit of both.
yeah, I think it's a little bit, but I think I think I think the CDC know how to pull at the strings, at the drawstrings of
Mhm.
Joseph Boyka and his administration, and so they just play into it. I think that's what it is. I think they are highly predictable. The Joseph Boyka
Mhm.
administration is highly predictable, and so the CDC is just playing into it. If we gather, they will send the riot police there.
Mhm.
Yeah, and if we stir up a little bit of of
Right.
energy, they will respond. And so,
Because whose interest it is for the country to run smoothly.
Joseph Pointer, he doesn't seem to understand that.
So if I can take you from work, because one thing we never focus on is the opportunity cost.
Yeah, yeah,
So the time you spend at the airport trying to prevent CDC from welcoming the Godfather,
hmm,
you could be policing.
yeah,
So they took that away, and now there's cost associated with it in actual dollar and cents by your
yeah.
presence, and that money is supposed to go to something else.
If I'm not
And so
mistaken,
it's in CDC's interest to make the place ungovernable,
yeah,
so that you look weak, you look like you don't have direction, because they determine what happens today.
yeah,
They are the one who say, okay, it's the first working day of the week. If you were to have reports, if you have to set the tune, it will be on Monday.
yeah,
So instead Monday, you are at the airport trying to prevent them. And most of the people that are going there, these are people that are nothing to do.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And somebody mentioned that the MCC delegation supposed to be arriving in the country today.
Okay.
So this is what they are arriving to: chaos. You know, this is what they are arriving to. And one of the hallmarks or the passing marks for the MCC, is freedom of speech.
Right.
Freedom of movement, and all those things. And now
And
they are coming to
stability.
this.
Nobody want to do business in chaos.
No, nobody wants to do business in chaos. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see such. I don't understand. Why they keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. It's almost like CDC can determine when to make the news.
Mm.
Former President Weah has been out of office now for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And how many times has he left the country and come back? Many times, many times in this period of time. But today, CDC said we made news today, and the Boyer government just follow along, just track right along, and say okay, okay. And as our reporter reported, there was people from the NSA, there were people from the police, there were people from the drug administration, there was people from the EFL. Basically, the entire joint security
Right.
have assembled. They almost like say when CDC assembled, then the joint security assembled in that order. And there
Mm.
you have it. So President Weah has made the news everywhere you go now. This is the top news that's going on.
So we have to leave the airport and come along the road where the partisans are announced to welcome their former president. He is a former president. Why were you saying President Baka? Thank you. I gave a count. What is your name? So the former president is on his way now. Yeah, as he head to Monrovia, and scores of partisans are here celebrating already. And there you go, the convoy is on its way. There you go, the convoy is on its way now. The convoy is on its way now, heading to Monrovia.
I'm curious to understand why this kerfluffle.
Man, politics. No, 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 no. What do you call it?
On the road,
Are they saying supporters should not welcome him?
okay, you can see.
We're doing it now.
Camera, yeah. Check the camera, yeah.
Why? I don't understand what is going on. Why is the police here?
Like the way the president moves, this is how their vehicles are open always. This is a motorcade where the former president is riding through. I don't see money. I don't see money. I don't see money. I don't see money pay. After they put a group A, you gotta come. They put a group A, black A. And the protocol is very high. Look.
So you are watching presently on the arrival of former President George Weah being celebrated and welcomed by his supporters. I have been out at the Roberts International Airport, I believe, since 9 o'clock this morning. It is after 6 p.m. in Liberia. They have been waiting patiently for his arrival.
The former president is special to get down right here.
The car has stopped. The vehicle has stopped. Security is at the door. Security is at the door. It appears as though we see CDC stalwarts. It appears as though the president is going to make an appearance here. president make an appearance. And there you have it. Wow.
And there you go. You have the former president waving the scores of Palestine right here.
Wow.
There
Wow.
you go. And they are now heading straight Monrovia, where there will be an official program, official welcoming program. I'm sure by tomorrow again, they will they will go ahead with the. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
What all right, Augustine, yeah, why don't you get ready to head to Monrovia and we'll take it from here for now. Wow. So there you have it, folks. Former President George Weah arriving in the country to the cheers and jeers of his supporters that have lined that route and been present at the Rabos International Airport since 9 a.m. this morning. And as I said, presently it is about six minutes after 6 p.m. So roughly 9 hours, these people have been waiting diligently to see the leader, to get a glimpse of the leader, and to welcome him home. As you saw, he momentarily surfaced out of the open top of his vehicle, and the entire crowd went wild. So there you have it. The convoy is presently proceeding to Monrovia. We still do not have any update on exactly where they're going or if they are going to assemble tonight. As you know, darkness will soon come to Liberia, to Monrovia, as the sun sets. So we are not sure if they are going to assemble at the temporary party headquarters at Foclicom Church or at Jamaica Resort. We don't know yet. As soon as we have that information, we'll be prepared to bring that to you. But for now, there you have it, gentlemen. The arrival of former President George Weah to the country and the euphoria that he still takes with him.
And what is driving this on both sides? Okay, what is? I mean, definitely, the former president is loved by his followers, and they want to welcome him. But the whole scene that is being made out of this, what is the driving force behind this, Mr. Sia? What are your thoughts?
Dennis, this is a show of political strength and muscles. It is good that we're here to analyze this. And politically speaking, who benefits from this? Okay. That is what I want to talk about. First of all, is this new? Is this President Weah first time leaving the country after leaving power and returning? The answer is no. This is not his first time to leave the country and return. And every time he left the country prior to this one, I don't remember any welcome program be put together. So then the question is, why this time? Why did the party and the president or the former president deem it necessary that members of CDC gather at the Rabat International Airport to welcome him? You know, what are they trying to achieve with this welcoming ceremony that they put together? He's always traveled and he has always returned, and there has never been any such welcome ceremony. Why this time? Well, then there's a few things come to my mind. Number one, President Weah has recently made it known that he will be contesting in 2029. So now he is returning to Liberia as a candidate to be in the next election. And to be a candidate, you have to show strength. Not that he has not had any political strength in terms of numbers. The CDC has been there. We all know it. It is not debatable. But they felt that they needed to project that he's no longer that lame dog, opposition politician. He is a candidate to be, and he's now ready to take the fight. Another thing that we should remember then is that the CDC headquarters got demolished, which was a significant political blow to them, and I'm not sure they like that. It is hurting them politically. They try to be diplomatic about it. They try to be as much as peaceful about it. But this is something that is hurting them significantly. And so they feel that the way they send a message to their political rival, the Unity Party, is to embarrass the Unity Party by showing that, look, we stay the CDC that you people have known all along. Let's bring Sir on here. We can mute him while we do the analysis. All right. We are still.
Sir, we're going to mute you. Let's ride safely, please. Ride safely. We don't mind following you along, but we're going to mute you just for the background noise.
Yeah.
We're going to do our analysis. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, Sir, continue to go follow the convoy.
We're trying to have our camera on, but I don't know if we have been seen clear. You know, we are taking risks riding the back while trying to report as well.
Yeah, we don't want you to take risks. We don't want you to take risks.
Sir, what we are saying to you, pay attention. You don't have to say anything, but just follow the convoy and stay online.
I have to leave the live and get things set up before coming back.
All right, no problem. That is okay. That is okay with us. So, I mean, as I was saying, Dennis and Marco, and to those following us, just to provide the analysis here. So, this is the CDC now that's saying, look, because this is something the CDC ever wanted, Dennis. Some of them were even, worried that President Weah may not run. The rumor has been around. You understand? So, for this confirmation that they have long waited for to have come for the president officially, they felt it necessary that he needed to be welcome as a candidate to be, in the next election. And I was also telling you the political blow they received when their party headquarters got demolished. When that happened, the president spoke to them, through an audio. We all heard about it. And now he's coming. And he did not only tell them to be peaceful, he did not only condemn the demolition of the party headquarters, he also promised that it will be rebuilt. And we saw pictures of the structure. All right, that is an AI generated picture or image of what is to be the CDC new headquarters. And so in my mind, this is a party that is saying, we are together here. We have now made a decision has to go forward. And for president, we have to be a candidate. You have to take a unanimous fight to the Unity Party. All right. And you can't do that without showing strength. And so we have to welcome a candidate to be in the country. And then the CDC may have a point here. All right. And I have ways I can criticize what they're doing. But this has been historical in the politics of Liberia. Michael can remember when Charles Walker Brunskin, may his soul rest in peace.
Yes.
Then it was FOB, Friends of Brunskin. When Brunskin was returning to Liberia, you had a huge presence of his supporters at the Rabat International Airport. They welcomed him from the airport straight. Your own Sano County former superintendent and Senator J. Milton Tiaje. I don't know if you remember that. At some point, J. Milton Tiaje returned to Liberia as a prospective presidential candidate. People went to the airport and welcomed him. There are other people who went to Liberia with the understanding that there will be a candidate in an upcoming election. And people went to the airport to welcome them. So, unfortunately, I want to put it, there has become part of the Liberian political culture. So, this is not new. My own disappointment here is how the Unity Party government is handling it. I think they could have done a much better job here. There could have been communication between they and CDC to have coordinated well so that this thing will not be this kind of spectacle it has become. We saw the throwing of stones tear gas and the arrest of one of the CDC partisans who was taken reportedly to a nearby police station, and the way he was being manhandled, in my opinion. And the fact here is that he too resisted arrest, so the police had to use some force here. Those things could have been avoided, given the fact that it is in the interest of the Unity Party, then, is to maintain stability in the country. It is in the interest of the Unity Party to be seen as a party that values, that cherishes, and that welcomes dissent, and recognizes freedom of speech, given that it benefits them politically in terms of their resume.
And I've heard from the CDC people what they're trying to accomplish here. You see that, in fact, there was people in the crowd who said the country is divided. So for them, George Weah is their president in their divided state, right? So now, but what I'm not clear of is what is the Unity Party government, what's the police trying to prevent here? I wish I could get someone from the government side to tell me, or Michael, if you heard anything throughout the day, what is it that they are trying to do?
But Michael, what? Because the state, the government, being in charge of the state has a responsibility to provide security.
They do,
right?
They do. Yes, they do.
And one would think this is the responsibility they are trying to execute. My concern here is whether they are doing it better. President Weah is a popular person.
Yes,
he has a lot of followers and supporters. And when he called for them to appear, definitely they will appear. And of recent, and there is this narrative against the CDC over the years that the CDC is a violent party. That remains to be debatable. The CDC has demonstrated and shown restraint, for quite a long time now. But the narrative have been started against the CDC for a long time persists, and that's been amplified, by the Unity Party consistently, politically speaking, so that it can make the CDC to look back. The CDC has tried to show restraint. Even today, you've seen that. They're all calling for peace. They say this is a peaceful welcome. This is not a protest. We call from the party chairman. He said this is not a protest. This is a peaceful welcome. And but the state now is saying, look, it is our responsibility to be there, because when we're not there, anything can happen. And when that happens, the state will be held responsible for whatever violence that may happen. I don't know, Michael. I don't know how you see it.
Well, that's the catch-22. That's the catch-22 of the whole thing, because yes, the state is responsible for the security of the state. President Weah is not the only person that was traveling, both coming or leaving. There are other people trying to get out of Liberia to carry on their normal businesses. There are other people coming into the country, and they expect to have a smooth transition. So that is the catch-22. That is the catch-22 of the whole thing. So if the security forces are not there and something happens, people are going to be asking, where was the police? Why weren't they there? Were they not aware of this, of this event? They did not expect the huge crowd. They did not expect that some people might become a little unruly. At the same time, when the state security shows up, and it shows up in mass like that with riot gear and everything, then and then people start to throw stones, and the question is, okay, have you helped the security situation, or have you hurt the security situation? And look, this is politics, right? So people understand that when you look like David in a fight, nobody likes Goliath, Nobody that asks questions when it comes to Goliath. Everybody looks at David, So when you look like you are the one being persecuted, and it looks like you are the disadvantaged one, people tend to have sympathy towards you, and that garners a lot of interest. It garners a lot of sympathy, and the CDC tends to understand this extremely well, and so they play to that very, very well. At least I think you saw the deputy chairman for the youth wing of District 12 being arrested, being hauled away by his shirt collar and his pants. All those things to garner sympathy. It seems as though the state is laying a heavy hand on common protesters, and it garners that sympathy. It revs up the base. It makes them want to even do more to show up for the president. And so that's where you have it. The political people. I hear a lot of people saying, 2029 is far away and nobody needs to focus on that. But I beg to differ. The political game has started already. It has indeed started, and CDC is revving up, and they are playing that game. If you had asked me a year ago, I would have told you, no, man, CDC can't really do much, man. But look at how they are playing their games right now. Look at the people that are turning out, staying up for hours just to get a glimpse. That was what? How long was the president up? Maybe 6 to 10 seconds. Can you imagine standing at some place, leaving your business, your hustle, your everything, coming to Ralphie for 8 to 9 hours to get 8 to 9 seconds of a glimpse of President Weah? I mean, come on. And any political leader right now, will give his left arm for that. And President Weah just seems to get it at ease. But yeah, that's what we see so far, man. That's what we see so far. That is the news of the day in Liberia, the arrival of President Weah. I know right now everybody is watching their phones, everybody is watching their stuff. Nobody paying attention. Right now, the government can release 10 different press conferences. Nobody listen to that thing. Everybody watching this to see the return of President Weah. Both sympathizers and even people that are opposing. That's what they are watching.
And I'm trying to get the information minister, Honorable Jeremy Pia. He has now responded. I also sent him a text. I'm eager to know what is the government saying. And from a law enforcement perspective, exactly as you said, Michael, that government, when things like this happen, people are gathering in such huge number, the security forces want to have a handle on it. In fact, if you are in security, which I'm not, you have gathered intelligence even weeks and months in advance to see what's going on, and then you will take the appropriate steps. So I understand if police want to be present for crowd control and other things, but what else? What are the possibilities? What are some of the things that can go wrong with the arrival and the welcome? And what were the police there trying to accomplish, trying to do? I understand there was some stone throwing. The government should never, condone any form of vandalism.
Yeah.
So those are things that I'm very eager to see what the government is trying to accomplish here, and what has been the result of what they're doing. As I mentioned earlier, anytime there's a huge police presence, things that you're supposed to do, you are not doing them. I don't know to what extent, to try to divide, kind of division of labor. But it's like when something happens, everybody is one place.
Yeah. And this is why I don't understand, right? Because former President Weah, like I say, he's a former president. He has a SS detail, okay, paid for by the state. You would assume that his security and the state have regular briefings. Whether it's him attending events, whether it's him leaving the country, whether it's him coming back to the country, you would assume that they have regular periodic briefings when they go over certain itinerary. For example, when they I'm sure that they knew that he was coming back. We all knew that he was coming back today. Did you contact his chief of security here on the ground? Did you contact the protocol officer on the ground? Did you contact whoever the protocol office is? Did you guys devise a plan? Did you guys go together at the Roberts International Airfield ahead of time, days ahead of time, do a walkthrough, figure out where people can be, how can we usher people in? We expect a huge crowd. How can we usher people in? How can they have access to the president? How can we still leave a lane for everyday person to still have access to the services they need? Did they go through this process with the office of the former president? Did they preempt all these things, or are we just having reactionary tendencies? where we know they're coming, we'll send riot police there, we'll push them in certain direction, they will turn riot us, we'll fire tear gas, and then everybody will be looking. I just don't get it. How we keep doing this over and over and expecting different results, you know?
My girl, the reality is that the security apparatus in Liberia have been in the know. The CDC communicated publicly. They put out a statement informing the nation their leader was coming. And that's information enough for the security apparatus to reach out to them and to arrange with them how best they could handle the crowd. I can only think that there was some conversation, and it is the execution of whatever conversation that they had, whatever arrangement they might have reached, was that executed better. When President Weah arrived, as you saw there, you saw that his supporters, his partisans had gathered at the designated place, where he drove by shortly, and he opened the tap of the car, and he came out there. He raised his hand, and he showed his hand, and you saw the crowd went wild. So they might have had something like that, arranged, but at the same time, there might be possibility of some, fanatics of Weah, who will rather go far above what has been arranged. And like we saw the gentleman who was arrested. I don't know what led to his arrest, but we saw that he was arrested. At some point, he was putting his hand up. He said, "Well, I didn't know what I doing." Maybe there was a spot designated for them to wait for the president. Maybe he crossed the line. Maybe that will push the security to move on him and arrest him the way they did.
Mr. C, I'm trying to work the phone here, and I have Fatima Bintu Salih, the councilwoman, the most popular councilwoman in the country. Councilwoman Fatima, first of all, congratulations.
And Dennis, the woman has been appointed as deputy minister, so let's refer to her as deputy minister.
Any confirmation?
Right, so that's what, Mr. C, I know I'm congratulating her on appointment as the deputy minister for urban affairs, but as we speak, she's councilwoman, the most famous councilwoman.
Go ahead.
Fatima, how are you doing today? There's a lot of things going on in Monrovia, and so I thought to call you, being someone who is very open with activities going on in Monrovia, in spite of your Unity Party side. So just call you to say, how is Monrovia and what is all obtaining regarding the arrival of former President Weah?
So, Monrovia is okay. Today was a raining off and on day. But in all fairness, things are moving along. I'm sure that the seditions were on their way to go and receive the former president, which is their right, by the way. And the news around was that a lot of them went to the airport, or they were making their way to the airport when they were dancing, which is okay. But then a lot of them started stoning when they saw the police. I think they got upset thinking the police was going to attack them. No, the police, because of the way they crowded the airport, the police was just there to make sure things will be okay. There will be no vandalism, blah, blah, blah. And they started stoning the police. And of course, because they were in their numbers, the police had to... Some people kept throwing stones, and the police used tear gas to dispel the crowd. That's how we heard. That's what happened. I wasn't personally on the ground, but I heard it. I heard it from some of our people when I went to town today. I didn't really go in town. I just went to the Convoy Town Bell, and I was hearing them saying that's what happened. So that's what's going on, but they decided to go for their former president, which is their right. But just be peaceful. Don't try to start trouble, and there will be no trouble. Of course, this is a country of law. They have to make sure that the stability of this country continues, and investors and people who are coming into the country feel safe. You cannot, because you're going to meet a political leader, try to disrupt, everyday activities and try to throw stones at the police. It's not right and it's unacceptable.
So I believe those throwing stones were removed. I understand the police was trying to prevent them from even coming close and push them as far back. In other words, it appears that they were preventing them from welcoming their first partisan. Is that not the case?
No, that's not the case. That's not the case. A lot of their former government officials were all around the airport, which is okay. But the way they were doing it, it's not only their first partisan that's coming. It's other passengers that are coming to the airport on a daily basis. I think you're aware of that.
Yes.
So they cannot disrupt the flow of the airport business because this one person is coming. So they were trying to just say, okay, you're allowed. Just give us the distance. Be out there when your partisan comes out. You can receive him. But no, everybody wanted to push through, and the police was not having it. And then they started throwing stones. That's how I heard it. I wasn't on site. I wasn't on the scene, but that's how we heard it. And the police have to always keep law and order. I don't care if you refer to them as Gregory Como police. They are the Liberian National Police. They have to keep law and order in this country. This country is a country of laws.
All right. Michael, I have Fatima just for a few minutes. So Michael or Anthony, if you have anything to ask or say before Fatima take leave of us.
No. Madam Councilwoman, congratulations on your new appointment.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, Mike.
Yep. And great work in Liberia, and thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it, and for providing some insight on what's going on in beautiful Monrovia today.
Liberia is a nation of peace. Before I part, let me just say that it's a country of peace. We're trying to ensure that every citizen, their rights are preserved and they are protected. But at the same time, you have to understand that you cannot scare people because of your own presence. You cannot make people feel uneasy or unsafe and then try to blame it on Gregory Como and Gregory Como police. There is no Gregory. Their first person, however you want to call it, their former president, they also have the right to respect the laws and the rules of this country, and that's what we're only asking them to do. Thank you, as always, Julius Jai, for having me on.
You said Julius Jai, my brother.
I'm sorry. I'm calling Julius Jai here. Julius Jai. When he said, Jai, thank you so much for having me over. But you're my brother. I will always come when you call.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Only Dennis Jaya, brother.
All right, Mike. Bye.
All right.
So you for a disclaimer, even though we're on opposite sides, for a disclaimer, Fatu and I have been knowing her since I think we're in first grade together. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why she called me. She calls me Mike, and I call her Fatu. So that's our childhood name. I've known her since then. She's a great sister of mine, even though we find ourselves on challenging political times. But she's always been a great person. So I really appreciate her joining us and kind of providing some perspective to that. We do have a reporter at the CDC headquarters in Saytown.
Dennis, I couldn't ask Fatima a question because she was not there. She was just saying what she heard from other people.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel the need to ask a question because she too is saying things that she heard. And she was not at the same. But she mentioned that the country is a country of law and not a country of men. There is a deputy minister who allegedly raped a 14-year-old, and the government is yet to arrest that individual. But the very government was very quick to arrest somebody because they felt the person was out of throwing stone at police. They arrested that person immediately, and we saw how that person was being handled. The person was grabbed and thrown in a pickup truck. All right. Yes, the person resisted arrest, but they carried on the arrest anyway. There's a rapist
I,
allegedly.
I wish
Who,
you have brought that to, you have made that point to the deputy minister designate. But go ahead.
yeah. So I'm saying it now so that Liberian people can hear it. So when she said the country is a country of law, it is a true statement. But whether that law is being upheld, fairly by the government, that's what I don't want to believe. It appears not to be the case. Okay, because we have had alleged rapists who were arrested. In the case of the deputy minister, there has not been an arrest. And the obvious reason he has not been arrested, and the police is telling us they are investigating over and over, is because he happened to be an official of the government. If he were not an official of the government, he would have been arrested. Now, the chairman of CDC, who we spoke to today, who was at the airport, at one point was even arrested. He never resisted arrest. He was not doing anything. He was at a scene where the police were also present and doing their job. And yet they arrested him and they took him away. And there have been many arrests. At protest sites, they will arrest people, and it is their job to do so. So when she says the country, is a country of law, does the law only apply to ordinary people? Does the law apply only to people who are in opposition? Is the law being applied selectively, unfairly? I think that is the case when it comes to the Unity Party government. The Unity Party government, is only executing the law unfairly and selectively, and the facts are there, the examples are there, the many instances are there, and they can't argue the facts because the facts, you can't twist them. They are there, they are documented. So talking about, President Weah's arrival, I saw you, you were muted there, that's why I had to come in.
Yeah, I want to announce, if you want to join the conversation quickly, we're going to close soon. But I want to give the opportunities for people to call in, and we have one caller. Just go ahead while I kind of get the caller connected.
All right, thank you. And folks, if you want to call, you can call. We want to hear from all sides. And Marco, let us make it clear here. The country is for all of us. We have a responsibility to maintain peace, law, and order, and to respect all rights, and that all rights should be guaranteed. And the institution through which we can guarantee everyone's right is the government. And those of us who are not in government, it is also our responsibility to remind the government, all right, to respect laws, to enforce the law, but fairly and judiciously and not selectively. And that is why we have to always remind our government, because it is in all of us best interest when the government does it right. Dennis, is the caller ready?
No, yeah, hold on. I'll get you.
Okay. Yeah. So, the return of President Weah now, I don't know what the CDC, and let me come on the other side. What is the CDC trying to achieve here with President Weah return and this welcome ceremony, and they have to go to the airport, and the partisans are all geared up in their regalia and all that? What they try, because this is not President Weah first time leaving the country and returning. Michael, is there any reason? Was this necessary? What's the CDC trying to achieve here? With this welcome ceremony, I understand it's their right, but I'm just curious. How does they help their cause? What are they trying to achieve here? Because clearly this is a political move, but what are they trying to achieve with the political move? I want to know.
All right, and I'm sure our caller also wants to know and have a perspective. Aaron Poble, you are live. Go ahead. Let's hear from you.
Hey, Dennis, how you doing?
Great.
Yeah. Hi, Dennis. Dennis, just wanted to say something to what Fatima just said on the phone. You know, Fatima, when they were in opposition, she was going from platform to platform, maybe because she wanted a job. Now she got a job, she's going to be still doing the same thing. I think if you want to know what's going on, or you guys want to get a clear insight of what happened at the airport, you guys need to call, people at the airport. I think you guys got a correspondent who was on the airport, who bringing you guys, live, what is happening firsthand. Not even Fatima saying, Fatima is a government official. You need to see, she's not going to say nothing objective. Everything she's going to say is going to be one-sided. Look at what Anthony was saying. She won't talk about law. The country is a country of law. Don't you know how many laws have been broken in that country since the government took power? So, I just want to, I'm at work, I just wanted to, contribute real quick to what she just said.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. We have one more caller, but we also have Prince. Where is Prince?
So you get this. But ask me, if you ask me, you're not calling me. You're not attacking me. Saying that my bride, you are
on the corner, you're here, and this is Howard Johnson calling from New Jersey, the United States of America.
Go ahead, sir.
On the topic of discussion, I want to say, Weah, welcome back. So this year, you Mr. Sear, you say why it is that the sedition is coming and the welcome Weah. Weah have left the country plenty of time, you're right. But this time around, if you can recall, they have broken the party headquarters. So Weah was not in the country when they broke the party headquarters. So he's coming back to bring relief to his people so he can break ground for the new party headquarters ever in Liberia history. There he built a 14 military hospital. He's visited with 11 Park and the PHP Park. That's why the people happy. The people happy because all the training people that was in the Liberian people who you put there to the position, Joseph Numa Boaka take them from there because they are not UP. The people happy, so Mr. Sear, because no rice, no food in the country, everything is high. Mm-hmm. That's why the people come to welcome the man.
How the man welcome will get them food now?
You will get them food because you will advocate for them. You will talk for them. You will speak for them. Don't forget Mr. John, he's the number one political party in Liberia. When he speak, Waka know and the UP know, it will go all over. And the Liberian people will come in the street. Even before he came, he told people on and say they don't harm nobody. You'll come, I'm a peaceful man, you'll come and welcome me in peaceful. That man been peaceful from the time some of our born. So that's why the people is happy. Because don't forget now, Mr. Ja, the vice president called him common people. So he's the common people. He's the people from Douala, the people from Blokonje. Where you from Sando County?
I'm not from Blokonje.
He's from Grand Cool. He's from Grand Cool.
No, I'm not.
Yes.
But thank you. We have more callers here. Just wrap up.
I will wrap up and say that Liberian people are sedition, the people, the council, the leader of the country, the former president is home, and he's a peaceful man. They don't mind Boaka. Boaka will leave in 2029 by free and fair election. Just how you get there, and how you will get out. God bless us. Thank you for following me the time, Mr. Ja.
Thank you. We still got more calls, but let's see what's going to happen. Prince, where are you?
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry for the noise. I'm going by. I'm at the CDC district number 8. Headquarters. They call it they call it the place where they are converting now in district number 8. There where I am. I have managed to before coming live to speak with some of the supporters here, but they themselves are not are aware of where the center barrier will be going when it enters the Monrovia belt.
All right.
And so I think he saw some, yeah.
Let me bring in few callers to be brief. Oh, Hassan Kone, you're live.
Yeah.
Is it me, Mr. Job?
Yeah, Hassan, it's your turn.
Thank you for taking my call, Mr. John and Mr. C and Mr. This thing that we're seeing at the airport is just to tell us that we have to start preparing ourselves for the next 5 years so we cannot repeat the same mistake again. The country we come from, they say that the ignorance in that country is persistent among the majority. So if we don't take this thing seriously, we're going to repeat and put George Weah back there again. So it's time that we put our hands on the scale. Like I always say this: we always have to tip the scale, because if we don't, we are odd numbers. There's no amount of honest reporting you can do, truth telling you would do to change these people's mentality to know that they're in a bad situation, right? So yeah, just we are coming. All the people that are suffering, that don't have food to eat, that don't have nothing, they think this thing is it's like a football game to them. The side must win. It's like the Arsenal or the supporting Arsenal or Liverpool. That's how they see it. But they don't see the reality or the consequences of their actions.
But
so
Hassan, all the people plenty like that, all of them don't see reality. Say only you. Is that what you're telling me?
But yeah, we come from a country where even some of us had to get out of that situation to know, to see. Sometimes when you're in the middle of chaos, right, you don't know you're in the middle of chaos. Right, like the shopping business, you have to remove yourself from it to look, like looking from the outside in.
Okay.
So these people that are there, the vast majority of the people don't know the situation they're in. They don't know what's at stake. They don't know what the government or president or whosoever the leaders should be doing for them. So
thank you.
That's the reason why they keep repeating the same thing. So
then I have a question for Hassan.
We have to be consistent with this thing, because for us, we would never see liberation in our lifestyle, not in our children's lifestyle. And this is a sad situation. We shouldn't be repeating this thing. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. Hassan, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anthony, we got one more call, but go ahead, ask your question. Hassan, Anthony has a question for you.
Hassan, you said the people see this as football, and that's how they see it, that their side will win.
I can hear you. I'm not hearing you.
You said that people see this as football. In other words, they are just blind to reality.
And then it's add that it is politics is like that everywhere. This is even in America. There are people that support Trump. There are people that support the Democratic candidate.
They don't have access to proper medical facility. They see these guys building big mansions and all of these things. But they're still waiting to support these guys. It's like they're going to lose every year, but you think they're going to win.
Yeah, Anthony is saying politics is like that everywhere. People will support their candidate no matter what. But let me bring in the next caller here. We got a couple of callers here. So let me bring in. We got two more here. 267 area code. Your name and where you calling from?
Hello, I'm Louis Torped calling from Levittown, PA.
Louis.
Actually, I'm calling in regards to the female caller that called first. I don't know if she called you a part of the panelists.
Okay.
She spoke that Liberia is the country of rule of law. But I will counter it by saying Liberia was the country of rule of law until the current government took place. Because if the president has signed an oath, broad daylight, and hearing fell off doing the oath, to uphold the rule of law of the Constitution of Liberia and downplay the rule of law after the Supreme Court ruling, Liberia is no longer the place of rule of law. That's why Gregory Coleman can do anything. That's why Deputy Minister can rip and nothing comes out of it. Liberia is just nowhere right now until someone can bring it back on point. why Joseph Boakai should feel intimidated and put the police on the street for welcoming a leader, a former leader, and a future leader to come back to the country. Why? Okay, fine, opposing the rule of law. So why he didn't respect the rule of law in the first place? He that took the oath to respect the rule of law. That's the point I couldn't understand from her. That's why I asked to call.
Thank you. Thank you. And Fatima, if you are listening, people have an issue with what you said, so if you can come back, that would be wonderful. Thank you, Louis. Let me go to our...
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Let me go to our next caller, 612 area code. Your name and where you calling from?
We're calling from Minnesota.
Your name again?
We're calling from Minnesota.
Go ahead, Terry, you're live.
Yes, so the brother who just spoke, I wanted to say something, but I want to address the brother who just spoke. Maybe that will be my own account. The three things he mentioned, he said Joseph Boakai do not respect the rule of law, so he didn't honor the Supreme Court. That's not true. Joseph Boakai honored the ruling of the Supreme Court. And Joseph Boakai is not responsible for another branch of government. The activities that goes on in another branch of government is strictly falls under that branch of government. You have to get that straight. Another thing again he talked about is the why the people trying to stop. It is the responsibility of the police, the security, to protect life and property. And President Weah is not the only person coming, former President Weah is not the only person coming through the airport. We have delegates coming for the MCC challenge today. They enter the country as well. So it is only safe for police and CDC how they can create chaos in anywhere they go. It is only precise for the police to be deployed to that place to protect life and property. And that is what they did. They built buffer zones and told certain people not to cross certain buffer zones because that area need to be clear enough for international guests coming in and out. So, we got to get out of this kind of a mediocre mentality that keep Liberia stagnated. The reason why you have a country, I'm surprised to see even that you got a former president using serene. Or, just like you said, during campaign time, people use the berets. They got the berets on their head, wearing the party regalia that we in campaign and we in political season.
Lawmakers and ministers using motorcade these days. But go ahead.
You say lawmakers. A lawmaker is under the country's authority. A former president is no more president. Where you see Joe Biden in America riding serene.
I don't
even see that happening. I
don't even see Ted Cruz or any of those lawmakers riding with serene. But let's
that's a concern too. That's a concern that can be discussed. But a lawmaker is on an oath. A former president is not on an oath.
Thank you.
Right? So there are certain limitations, there are certain restrictions that are supposed to be permitted to him. But again, if the government will say, we take that away, people will say, the government is against all the kind of stuff. So for me, I like the way the president or the government acted today, allow him to ride in the street, do all the kind of things. But those kind of things can never happen in a suitable democracy. That's my point. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Michael?
Yeah, Dennis, we have an interview from former President Weah. If you allow me to play that. Yeah, okay. So here we go. Yeah.
Arrival ceremony. I think while I was away, I watched television and I saw that everyone that came here to usher back to our own country, I see that fight. I see fighting. Why are we fighting? Why are we fighting? I put on my page, I'm coming back home, be civil, and make sure that there's no trouble. This country belongs to all of us. I don't think it was necessary today, but I'm glad to be back home. I think you all are aware that my son was changed as a headquarters and made a new one for our people. And what I'm back home for, to make sure that CDC get our party headquarters back. So we don't need to fight. We don't need to fight. So we need to be civil, we need peace in this country, and that's the only way we can move forward. To all of my fans and citizens, what happened to us, don't worry. George Monrovia is here. We're going to restore, we will rebuild our party headquarters, and that's our goal, that's our mission. Our mission is not to come and black airport and police fighting. No, leave them alone. Leave them alone. We came to create the party for our people. We were able to do that, and we are still able to sustain the political fight. So don't worry. I'm back home. We're going to build our party in a record time, and we'll be okay.
My name is Christopher Biasman, and I report for Inside Liberia, Mr. Weah. You can't tell us the primary visit of the primary agenda of visiting both Europe, America, and a few African countries to travel.
Well, maybe you're not hearing me. I think the only reason I went to Europe for was to make sure that my son Timothy found a club, and then he went to Olympia myself, and I'm back home to do my work.
Were you impressed when you scored the goal against Real Madrid?
Well, I'm not a football fan. I play the game. I'm not a fan. You know, anyone will be happy when they score a goal. Even if you're watching somebody score a beautiful goal, you like it. So that I love it, and I'm a proud parent. You know that he scored a goal for the game. They lost the game.
My name is Manuel from Barrington. How it feels being back to your country?
Well, it's beautiful. It's my country. I was born right in this beautiful country, and I'm back home. It's always a pleasure to be back home, you know, but no one chasing you. You know, I'm a free man. I'm a free man, leader of a political party, the People's Party, and I'm back home. I'm proud to be back home, to be with my people. We got a lot of things to do, you know, and then that's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Alan. Your supporters are talking about 2020 now. Where do you stand?
There you go. I believe after watching that was the most important question, but he didn't answer it. Concerning 2029, where do you stand?
Yeah, Michael, you are right.
Right. I mean, we heard that he's going to run.
We heard that he's going to run, and you saw the Maxwell Kimayan, former minister for foreign affairs,
yep.
Former, I think, permanent representative to the United Nations as well. He is more like the closest to President we are now, as we've been told by those in the CDC. And I believe that to be true because I see the proximity is tight between the two of them. He was on one of our networks in Liberia, Spoon FM in particular, when he said that President Weah will be a candidate. If it comes from the Maxwell Kimayan, you should believe it. That means President Weah said that to him. And there are reports also that even President Weah himself said it, that he will be a candidate. And so it would have been better for him to have answered it. But I have every reason to believe that that question has been answered. And so President Weah will be a candidate. But if you look at what he said, you know, he spoke well. He spoke well that he's in the country. And he asked the question, why are they fighting? And so that's the question I'm asking too. Why are they fighting? He gave a reason why he's in the country. It's his country, so he's that's his right. He was born there to return. And most
I was not clear who is fighting. When you say why they fight, who's fighting? Who's fighting?
The police and his protesters were engaged in a fight. That's how he put it, right? There's partisans of CDC who were arrested. And as we saw in the video, we have that video here in our possession, Focus on Liberia. The partisans was fighting the police. I saw that he held the police clothes. All right. I mean, he didn't fight back much, but he resisted arrest, and also he held the police close. So I think that was the fight he was talking about. It was also being reported that they were throwing stones, and the police fired tear gas. Okay. Yeah, is another video here. Then there's that. Let me show this one. I think it is this one. That
tension escalate here. Serious tension escalate right here. One person has been arrested, and the arrest of one person. They have arrested an individual here. They have arrested one of the opposition. Been arrested.
Dennis, when you heard the president saying fight, I am thinking that's what he was referring to. Because other than that, I don't know about any other thing that may have happened during the day, right? And so I think that's the fight he was talking about. But let's join our reporter, senior reporter, Prince Mumba, who is at a temporary headquarters of CDC in district number 8. And Prince, correct me if I didn't get the district right, and unmute yourself there. What do you see so far, Prince? I see, people drawing water. I see some people sitting down. Tell us, bring us up to speed. What is happening there?
Thank you, Anthony. And let me say my apology for the noise in the background. Yes, so this is within a community. So, and this place is an office that belongs to former Representative Moses Akara's grade. This is station number 8 in Monrovia County, like you rightly put it. So this place used to be his campaign headquarters. So it's within the community. You have handpump right in front of the building, the building that houses the office. The partisans here are not certain as to whether the reason for which they left their homes and came here, they will actually accomplish that. That is to see their political leader, the former president of Liberia, and former President George Weah with their naked eyes. So when I came here earlier, the group was a bit larger than it is now, but most of them have left. And prior to this live broadcast, I asked some of them off record, and they have not. They said they are not set. They are not aware of where the former president will be going. That had not been communicated to them yet. Even myself here, I don't know where he will go. I don't know whether there will be any other press in the action besides the one he had at the Robert International Airport. But specifically to your question, how things looks like here, some of those people you see in the chair are supporters of the CDC. Some of them are in their party t-shirts. Some of them are wearing their barrels. Then there are other community dwellers who are around, standing by. Some of them coming from work, going home, and some of them have come to fetch water. So that is the general atmosphere here. They all seated now, even though the music is in the background, but not many of them dancing as it was when I came here earlier, maybe around 3 or 2. And so that is it. Some of them came from Brazil, some of them came from district number 16, 15. But the aim and the objective of their come here was to come and see President Weah comes back to Liberia, maybe address them as they used to be at their former party headquarters. But because of the situation, the party headquarters they were evaded from there, and every other structure there was demolished. So therefore, they had to come to the district office of Akara's grade, former representative of district number 8, and there they've been having the activities. But again, we are not sure as to where former President Weah will go to address his partisans who are in that number. And of course, I can say from my own observation, I'm not too sure you're going to come here because this place, like I said earlier when I was here, is within the community. It is very small. The crowd the crowd that went on the airport and that coming along, that crowd might not fit here. Not only that, when you have a group of people together, that this security implication is there, and no police officer around, and to ensure that there will be law and order. So all those things. But I'm here I'm in district number 8, Monrovia County, and this is Satan in Cinco. This place on the 5th Street, and it's down the beach side, but it's on the other side of 5th Street in Cinco.
All right, Prince. Thank you for that, brilliant reporting there. We will take leave of you. If you get any other additional information, let us know so that we can hear from you. That was our reporter, Prince Momba, joining us from District number 8 in Monrovia. District number 8 is the district Akaras Gray represented when he was representative on the ticket of the CDC. He's no longer representative, and that place, according to our reporter, having to be his office. And so that is being used temporarily as the CDC headquarters. Let us welcome Jimmy Eastman, joining us from the nation's capital. We're talking about the United States, the most powerful country on earth, the ant-twisting political master of the world. I said it, the ant-twisting political master of the world. Jimmy, you saw President Weah and rival.
You don't want to be Jimmy Kimmel, so you be careful.
Well, Jermaine should say that answering salad. I mean, he's a Washington elite, so he would not like that word. But Jermaine, go ahead.
I've been following the arrival of President. I'm right now. I'm watching several feeds. I could share one of. Let me see if I can share one of my feeds with you, where he is currently. Okay, so let me do that and really quick here. There we go. That's where he is now. There was a large crowd set to meet him at Boys Town. And
just maximize your screen, Jimmy.
Okay, let me do that. Is that good? Is that good?
We didn't see the maximizing it, but go ahead.
Okay, let me do something else. Maximize my screen. I can do that. Hold on.
Yeah. Right. That's it.
Okay. So I think this may be Boys Town where they're going through now. There was a
take your cursor from that screen so that go ahead.
So that that's why I believe it could very well be so. As you know, Boys Town is really congested when you're coming from on the highway there. So the turnout was massive, and if this is a precursor of what 2029 will be, it will be one hell of a race. As you can see, the former president still enjoys the popularity and support of many Liberians. He's still loved, and I appreciated how he directs his followers and people who believe in him not to cause disturbance, to comply with the law officials, because there is absolutely no need for any ruckus or any agitation. He's always been a man of peace. He's always been trying to maintain the peace, even when his followers wanted to disrupt things in Monrovia. Even during Ellen Johnson administration, his followers were discontent with the results. but he always told them to maintain their decorum.
And Jimmy, sometimes that's the thing, that needs a little more explanation, right? We are being the men of peace. So you know very well, from history, when these forces come together, they're going to be commotion. So if you're a man of peace, just don't bring the people, right? It's like
But,
people say you throw rock and high your hand.
oh, okay.
If you, maybe a way to be peaceful is stop them from coming to the airport to welcome you. Maybe, am I wrong?
Let look at it both ways. If you
Because
notice that,
when the two forces come together, they're going to be chaos.
right. But if one of the criticisms for other candidates like Alex Cummings was that he can't draw people, he can't draw support. So even some people didn't want to waste their vote. But clearly, you can see here the kind of support that President Weah enjoys. So that come 2029, they would not say they're wasting their vote because they see he's very possible to be the victorious with this kind of showing, and this administration has to conduct itself in a way that it will remain popular with those people that brought them into office. If they don't navigate these next 4 years with extreme dexterity, they may find themselves in discontent. And then the people, especially the strife and the hardship in the country, if they don't form the opinion that they have been doing well to the Liberians, you can see that we may just unseat them. It's very, very possible. So moreover, Liberians love to bandwagon. If he really starts gaining momentum, you will see a lot of people switching sides, jumping ship, and going. So this show, I agree with you. It is disruptive in a little bit because the traffic and the people and all of that. You can clearly see the convoy that is leading from RIA to Monrovia has probably stagnated traffic. So I do agree with you there, but at the same time, this is Liberian politics, and this is a show of support. We won't call it a show of force, but come 2029, if he turns this sort of thing into votes,
Jimmy, you are spot on. You are spot on there. Politics is about numbers. A show of strength in politics is not how tall you are. It's not how huge your bank account is. It's the number of people that you can attract. All right. We are aware, thank God you are from Washington, D.C. Mark Bloomberg, who is a billionaire, attempted to run on a Democratic Party ticket. This is a billionaire we're talking about. The man couldn't go anywhere. Bernie Sanders' bank account is not big, but he commanded the crowd, right? And so if you cannot show political muscles, strength, true numbers, you will be dismissed. You gave the example of Mr. Alexander Bernard Cummings. We are told Cummings he's blessed to have a bigger bank account, and yet he does not project strength, politically speaking, with the numbers. And so wherever he appears, people just walk by. Look at what we are seeing. And another thing is that whatever the Unity Party did by the demolition of the CDC headquarters, I know the Unity Party will say, well, this is not our doing. This was a civil case against CDC and all that. We have no hand in this. Well, they can make that argument, but how many persons will believe them, right? And so with that, CDC has picked up a significant political sympathy that can translate into numbers. Now you have the Unity Party now in power. I'm not sure how the citizens of Liberia are happy with prices, with everything in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they are changing things. I know they still have 4 years to go. And, are they going to change things significantly? The reduction of prices, making jobs available. All right, business social services. We're talking about roads. One of the major promises that they made. How they doing on that front? And so, all of this in the fight against drugs and the issue of the rule of law, already they are losing the debate on the rule of law, whether they are fair or selective, when it comes to the administration of the rule of law. So if you look at all of these things and CDC that quote unquote was viewed as, the party that didn't have any experience, they didn't know anything, they govern the country. So the people now are trying to compare the two administrations. So, well, you told us you could do better, in President Waka's, words, you can't get a man's job to a boy. That President Weah was a boy, who knew nothing about governance. And he having to be a state man, and now he has it. How are we doing as a country in the hands of the state man, compared to the boy that we had in power, quoting President Waka here. And so the citizens looking at these two administrations, now they will be making a judgment. And if things don't change tremendously in their life, if their human and material conditions don't improve, all right, they might more than likely say, well, Unity Party, no, you didn't tell the truth, you didn't deliver. And so we will go with the boy. It was the same thing with the Unity Party, right? CDC came to power and CDC could not do it. What did the citizen do? The citizen went back to Unity Party. Because at the time they compared the Unity Party and the CDC, for some reason they came to the realization that well, maybe the Unity Party did better. So we have to go to the Unity Party. Because the Unity Party have the numbers and will not be wasting our vote. The same scenario might play in the favor of CDC come next election. It's possible. We don't know for a fact, but that is likely, the way we see things going right now.
Yep, I totally agree.
And Mr. Sear,
go ahead.
Mr. Sear, that's where, sometimes I wonder whether, and your analysis, you are spot on, right? But sometimes I wonder what is it that the people are looking for, right? Because if, just like you've said, the human material conditions for our people should improve. And if the people are not saying that, you go back to CDC. How has CDC become that alternative? Right. And so that's why sometimes I sit and say, okay, I can say, well, you need to do X, Y, Z for the people to vote for you. But if the country is moving between CDC and Unity Party every election cycle, then I'm trying to have a problem with what they two are looking for.
And then
if that makes sense.
And then that makes sense. And I as a Liberian citizen, hold so strongly that it has been a waste of our time as a people in country by the Unity Party and the CDC. The Unity Party have 12 years. All right. I know there are lists of things that we can point to that they have done. And there are a few things we can also point to that the CDC has done. We need a paradigm shift as to how we approach development, as to how we approach governance, as to how we improve the human and material conditions of our people. We need more actions. And these two political institutions, all they've done is to just occupy that political authority, pay salary, strugglingly so, and do a few little projects here and there, and then don't solve any problem. Then when it comes to water, just Monrovia, we have not gotten it right. We have not gotten it right. The CDC has been in government for far too long. CDC dominated the entire legislature. For the past 20 years, I can argue. We have not solved the problem of water in Monrovia. I'm not talking about the whole country. We have not solved the problem of providing safe drinking water in Monrovia. Now it comes to electricity. Even in the very Monrovia, the CDC and the Unity Party, the two parties have not solved the issue of stable provision of electricity only in Monrovia. They have not solved the problem. Let's talk about education. Only in Monrovia. They have not solved the issue of quality education. Only in Monrovia. The Monrovia Consolidated School System is run by the government. How are those schools looking? Look at the conditions of the school. You see some of the chalkboard, you will not believe it that those schools are in Monrovia. Let's come to healthcare. JFK continue to struggle today. Redemption Hospital continue to struggle today. These two political institutions have not changed anything, have not solved any problem. And so I hold that view so strongly that these two political parties should not be given a chance. And our people to continue to choose them over other political institutions or other Liberian citizens who have been putting themselves forth, to lead our country. They are doing it at their own peril and at the peril of the country. For no way that Unity Party is going to do better, and in no way that CDC is going to do better. They are in the fight to occupy this space for their own benefit, and that's it. These minor projects here and there, they boast us, they show us, those things are not improving anything in our country. And they know this to be true. Now, you have a country, your budget is around, let's say, 700 million. You're not even allotting 50% of that budget for public sector investment. You are not a serious government. You are not putting your people first. That's what it means. So tell me, how are you going to transform the country? If you are not man enough, if you are not a political institution enough to allot more money to improve the conditions in your country, other than to approve or to provide more money for the running of the government. Look at the travel. I criticize our president today for the way he travels. That's the same thing CDC did. He criticizes, now he came, he doubles on it. The Unity Party done it before. They're doing it again. If you give them another term, they will do the same thing. This is what they know. They don't know anything besides that. The same with the CDC. And so Liberian people will be doing themselves a disservice, all right, to go for CDC again. And it is likely now that they are thinking in that direction. What kind of argument, what kind of narrative, what kind of education will make them to think otherwise? I don't know it as we speak.
I can give you the answer to that. And you well know that politics is perception. So for the current leaders, survival does not depend that much on technical governance. It's more how the people see them. So is it the people should not see them as somebody that is against the people. Soon as they perceive you like that, they go into another alternative. So the Buckeye government has to show that they are actually for the people. Okay, and that is in fact where CDC lost ground in the last election, because some of the supporters taking thugs to the LU campus, all of these things were seen as they are against the people, and that's how they lost some of their popularity. So if Buckeye, or you could say UP, plans to stage a significant challenge in 2029, they must not be perceived as against the people. That is where they will lose. And that is why you see them, the people, go into this alternate source or this alternate candidate. And if there comes another dark horse in the race that is perceived to be somebody, a defender of the people that they can relate to, and also that is perceived to be strong enough to put up a good showing, that's the only time you will see them shift to that person. So in a way, it is wide open, but it's your ability to show that you are a person advocating for the people and willing to stand with them in whatever case. So that is what President and former President Weah still enjoys. The people still see him as somebody who stood with them before, as part of them, not against them. So they are forgetting the ill doings of the past. They're going on the LU campus, doing all of that, chasing LU students. All that is fading now, and he's coming back to the forefront. I don't think he's solely lost because of what he did or didn't do. I think it was the symbolic gestures of some of his people that made them lose ground in the election. For third world countries, especially third world countries where we have weak institutions, it's all about symbolism, how you show yourself. Until we build strong institutions that will fit to last, then before, people will not be looking toward personalities before they make a decision.
Thank you. I have breaking news here. Jimmy, you want me to break it?
Break it. Go ahead.
For those of you who know me, you know tomorrow is my birthday, September 23, and I've been wanting iPhone 17 for my birthday. But guess it's all over the internet now. Who is coming on my birthday? Take a listen.
Clear indication from God, y'all. I just received a clear indication from the Lord. I just had a dream, and I believe it was another rapture confirmation. And you do what you want with this information. I'm not here to go back and forth with anybody. I am not here to discuss this conversation with anybody because I have given my warnings.
Jimmy, Jesus is coming on my birthday.
Well,
there is all kinds of news over the internet that tomorrow will be rapture. Jesus is coming. So
let me tell you.
Let me break the news that Jesus is attending my birthday, and maybe I will get the iPhone that I wanted.
Whenever people tell you these things, remember always, that's why I say it's so important to know your doctrine. He says, no man, no angels, no, not even he himself know the day of rapture. Only God himself knows. So no one can tell you when that man coming.
Right. And Jimmy, I brought that in because maybe sometimes when we have these things in Liberia, we think the situation is unique to Liberia. Anthony corrected someone who said, oh, Liberians are this, Liberians are that. But the issue with information and how people will gravitate towards a certain politician, and when that politician, whatever he says, sometimes he doesn't say anything. They believe him and they follow. As clear as it is in the Bible that nobody knows the day, the time, the hour, somebody will come up, and that's the revelation. If you just Google it, they said different years, they said the same thing. Yet, if it comes up today, people still say the same thing. You know, if you see people going to it's like people that are going to welcome former President Weah. It's like, okay, with all your struggles, with everything that comes along with living in Liberia today, you will put everything aside and say, and some will say, I will die. This is not unique. This is not new in all our political system, especially today. In other countries, just like in Argentina, for instance, you know, same thing that happened here with the insurrection will happen there. And people say yes. So information is power, knowledge is power. So the world is at a place that all kinds of things go around and people believe all kinds of things. No matter how much you say, they will believe what they have to believe.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about Liberia, let us look at Liberia within a global context that this is not new and it's not unique to the country Liberia.
I'm glad you said that. I will share with you guys. I went somewhere over the weekend and I was able to share some information with our brothers. Africa is there's a wave going through Africa, and they are watching Traoré, what he does, to model after him. We know that Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, all these countries have already revolted against the French influence in their country, and they are regrouping themselves to form a nation that would cater to the demands of their people, not the demands of imperialist interests. And in this conversation, they told me the current president of Liberia has no choice but to move in that same direction. If he doesn't move in that direction, Liberians will either fall out of popularity. See, even Liberians are tending now. They want to see that kind of leadership, the things that you will stand for your country, no matter what. Not foreign interest, people taking your minerals. Do you know that these countries nowadays, they say you cannot take our raw materials? It has to go through stages of production. When are we going to have a leader who will stand up like that? Huh? We have rubber, we have iron ore. When are we going to have a leader who will say, no, you can't just take the raw materials from us? But it has to go through processing so that we can benefit. And that is what young Africans are looking toward now, that type of leadership. Not just the same old business as usual, like back in the 50s and the 20s and the 1940s, where you were dictated to what you should do. But now we're looking for people who will advocate for Liberians.
Okay, Jimmy, we're about to wrap up. Let's bring in Augustine, Sir Augustine, who is going to give us update.
Okay.
Sir.
We are currently rehab at the intersection of the former president and the current president resident. Currently at rehab. What do you mean calling criminal? The reason they are calling criminal because Chilabara said that people that the warehouse now was spending. What are you doing? Chilabara is buying 2.1 million other than a car. Chilabara is it's still get to away. It's something about Chilabara landed like people if you do in the farm. Machine to the country, up to the machine. He went inside people the media saying it was a gentleman agreement. The government who followed Chilabara. Now we are reflecting our anger for the government. Therefore, we have to now. Yeah, however, now, we are letting the people know that the way is coming back to the presidency. We'll make sure that right after the election, while the election commission will be reading the result, will be also until the election commission say, John Mana, is the president of the people of Liberia. Thank you so much. You listen to our supporter right here, Jason Chante. at the rehab junction, the intersection between where the former president and the current president resides. We have to speed up from the Araya highway to reach this far up because we don't want to be in the traffic and risk our life. Now this is where we are.
Yeah, coming back.
Mm.
Yeah, coming back. No excuse.
No excuse. How do you come out?
The citizens of the country have saw the situation of the country. We of course first and foremost, I must do a citizen. I mean, I can do from the fight. We are coming back. They now we never in the essence. The level is here.
The level, yeah. Okay. Why you outside? And this is the former president is somewhere around our rehab already. And they are now marching towards the former president's house. Where the music is where they are heading. Something I want to say, this is very street for the first time to see Liberians jubilating in this mood after the party headquarters, especially the party headquarters were invaded.
So the thing is, the people, the citizens, continue to say, party headquarters is not the party. Party headquarters is just a bad area. The party lives in their heart. So they remain there.
The convoy is somewhere around. We will make our way to where the convoy is coming from. Mama, why are you outside all of this? Why are you happy? Yeah. He was out. The former president arrived in rehab already. This is the arrival of the former president. This is the arrival of the former president in rehab. The former president arrived in rehab. The former president arrived in rehab. Massive one here. One welcome. Who's passing? This is massive.
It's after 8 p.m. in Monrovia.
Sir, are you with us there? Sir, are you with us? Sir.
Mr. Pierre, how many times have you heard this song? We made a mistake, we sorry.
Yeah, I heard it. They sang that song for
Our
President
sorry,
Walker.
we make mistakes.
Sir, can you hear me?
Our partisans of CDC are singing, yeah.
Sir, can you hear me? Sir, can you hear us? All right. Gentlemen, we have to close it. Sir now can go live as his end and take it from there. We have to end it here. So, Jimmy, this would be my closing. The song they're singing is not new. When President Weah did not win the election of 2017, and when he was campaigning in 2023, that was the song that was sung. And President Weah now will be elected president. Now, this same song now is the one they are singing in former President Weah's favor. Does that mean he's going to be elected? We'll wait and see. What I want to say also is the Unity Party should not dismiss the CDC and President Weah. He has a huge, huge, huge following. He is incredibly popular. And the fact that a lot of Liberians feel that, the economic conditions are not favorable, that has even increased his popularity. And the best the Unity Party can do now is to see how best they can turn things around economically and be able to carry on, massive development projects to give these people reason to now look the CDC way. That is the only option they have, no other. I will also conclude to say that, well, as the convoy enters Weah, I saw a police vehicle leading the convoy. That is a good thing. It means that the state is providing security for the former president. We are aware what happened at the airport could have been handled properly, but that was not the case. But, howbeit, they led the former president to his home in Weah, and President Walker and former President Weah are neighbors. I'm very familiar with the place. And, and these are people dancing in the face of President Walker. These are his neighbors. These are his citizens. They are dancing for the former president when he's in charge. It's a message that they shouldn't dismiss the CDC. They shouldn't dismiss President Weah's popularity, and that the only option they have is to see how bad they can do things differently and better. Yeah. And if they don't do that, I think they will have a difficult time in 2020. 2029.
Jimmy and Anthony, I suppose President Bwaka is watching. His chief of staff, Sam Steve Queer, watching. Minister Gaffon is watching. If you are President Weah and you are sitting with your
President Bwaka,
if you are President Bwaka sitting with your kitchen cabinet and you are watching this, what's going through your mind, Jimmy?
Okay, and this is for everybody, not just Buckeye. This.
I want to start with Buckeye. For other people, it may not be, but it's if President Buckeye is looking at this, President Weah clearly wants to be president, and you are looking at it. What's coming to your mind? What is it you think is responsible, and what can you do to change course?
Well, for me, for Buckeye, it's you send tremors, because candidate Weah has always been the strongest candidate in almost every election we've had since the end of the Civil War. It reflects his personal political capital that he has, but there's some other broader social undercurrents in the country that is this thing also we know that he's popular. The fact that many people are visibly excited suggests that Weah retains a significant base of support. But this jubilation also indicates something else. It's a signal for people's longing for improvement. If everything was going hunky-dory, they wouldn't be singing in the streets like that. But the economy and the social welfare, so the people are hoping for engagement and political and potential influence of Weah, a rival. The other thing also, Weah is a strong symbol. So he embodies certain political values or socioeconomic identities. That child from Gibraltar is a strong thing he has for him going, and it's not easily forgotten, and it will not be. And then also there's some unresolved expectations or discontent that some people have. So this government will have to deal with that. They have to look. I mean, There's been several protests we've seen in the country. So all those things have a lingering and residual effect, you know. So also, lastly, there may be a perception of mismanagement of this administration. And like we were talking before, politics is nothing but perception. So if this administration is sending signals of mismanagement, defying the Supreme Court, um, uh, dismissing illegal dismissals after people being replaced, even though the tenure is not open. All this may signal mismanagement. So these are the things that are coming back.
Jimmy, before you end, and see what this person is saying, what Tom is saying. If Boaka is not doing well, why is the support not going for Cummings or Tiawan Gongro or somebody else?
But I think I mentioned that he embodies what Weah embodies,
because he was just there, and at the end of the 6 years, they came to the conclusion that he was not doing well, and so he needed to be changed. So why would people want to go that direction again?
Okay, we were talking earlier. We said that sometimes it wasn't just Weah that lost the popularity of CDC during the last election. It was some of his lieutenants who carried people to the LU campus to brutalize students. They brutalized some other students who were demonstrating at the U.S. embassy. All those things show that they were against the people. And once you are perceived as against the people, you will lose popularity. But we have never really been the one to do those things. But it's just elements of him. So now his popularity, he's rekindling his popularity because Weah directly never went against the people. So that, and why Cummings or Simeon Taylor, they don't have that. They don't enjoy that popularity. They don't enjoy that status as a football hero. They don't still enjoy the humility of being a son from Gibraltar. So there are things that are going for Weah that nobody else has. And I also think that how the party packages you and represents you is going to be very important because that's how they will sell you to the people. So that is extremely important, that how they present their candidates to the people.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined us, we've been reporting on the arrival of former President George Weah, which was met with, I want to describe as resistance by the government who wanted to maintain law and order at the airport. That did not stop the seditions. They came out and they were in the streets, and now they are at the residence of the former president. I mean, they are jubilating and songs that they are singing like this is the second coming of Weah into politics, into the presidency. They're trying to say, hey, come back. In fact, they are saying, we are sorry we made a mistake. And so there you see Weah walking into it. I've never seen anything like this recent. And this is really something to see. Anytime we talk about Weah's popularity, football and all that, you see, even the people that are cheering for him now, they were not born when he was playing for when he was playing for Marcel. I mean, not Marcel. When he was playing for
Milan,
Inter Milan.
Mm-hmm.
So when he won the Ballon d'Or,
yeah, Paris Saint-Germain.
Even
Tournier, when he was playing for Tournier in Cameroon.
Right. I mean, I see the little kids that were dancing in the street. I don't think any of them were born before 2000. So whatever it is that former president is enjoying, I mean, he continues to enjoy that, and time will tell what the end result going to be come 2029.
Dennis, You know, Jimmy spoke well and so pointedly to the question, right? You're right. President Weah won the Ballon d'Or 1995, I'm not mistaken. Jimmy, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. And so most of the young people that we see on this television, on these cameras, right? Some of them were not born, or most of them were not born.
Yeah.
The 1995 we're talking about. All right. And now here they are. And this is the man that they are celebrating. What attachment? How do they connect to him? And that's the question you are asking. You know, how can they relate to him this way? Two things come to my mind. Jimmy answered that. Look, what is his story? The story of his life. Where did he come from? All right. He came from the slum. And many of these people, they are from the slum. All right. They were told this story. And so, and their parents are some of those who saw President Weah playing football. They admire him. And so they told their children this story. Now, then you bring it on the economic side, right? And so for him to have come from where they are, you know, to have gone to stardom and come to politics to succeed, you know, they see that in themselves. And so they can relate to it. And the fact that he became president and he was able to, and the CDC continued to make the argument, we maintain the peace. You know, they didn't see him as a violent political player. You know, they see him as them who didn't have much knowledge, maybe in terms of governance, but, you know, he was able to, you know, to captain the ship. He didn't rock the boat. You know, as Jimmy was saying, well, if anything happened in terms of government excesses, they blame it on his lieutenants and not him. And, you know, they accept that he's not as knowledgeable, you know, and so it couldn't be him, right. You know, because they are excusing themselves, in fact, of even voting him that they did nothing wrong. And now the guy now who is being perceived as knowledgeable and experienced is in government, and their conditions are not improving. Some of them are even making an argument that, well, things were even better during our man's time. So all the noise you made, all the accusations you made, you have not proven anything. And more to that, the United Party accused the CDC of rampant corruption and all that. Where are the prosecution today?
Right.
It's like the United Party came to power and on a go rush.
Mr. Smith, I know you enjoyed this, so
where are they telling us that this is what the CDC did we're talking about? They are yet to show it.
You know that a political bulldog.
Yeah, the bulldog enjoys that he will go on and on, but we have to go.
That is, we have to.
But one thing I'd like to remind, you know, to say here, which when I talk to, you know, the guy who popularized political elite, no, he's intelligentsia elite.
Intelligentsia elite.
We are making the same mistake because when what were the common refrain from the people that are criticizing this? They say the people who are doing this in the street, they don't know better. Jimmy, you heard that?
Yeah.
These people don't know better. These people, they are hungry and they're doing this, so they don't know better. So that same thing that brought Weah to power, since that made him even more popular since 2005, is the same thing. The so-called intelligentsia elite continue to make the same mistake.
Right.
When Yeager Columbus was going around the country and people were like just dying to touch him, they say, "Oh, he's crazy." The Liberian people they don't know better. They always vote, you know, wrong. So intelligentsia elite, watch out. It's the same mistake we are making. And I asked when Hassan was talking, I said, Hassan, are you telling me all the people are stupid? Only a few people are wise or know better. Well, the so-called stupid people are going to vote. And they vote, you know, they're not going to vote the way you want them to vote. So again, people need to be careful how they handle this whole Weah scenario. You'll be surprised that people in, like, I mean, wherever things happen, I don't want to enter like American politics, but you see the same thing everywhere. When people love their man, they love their man. And instead of engaging them on the issues, you want to paint a broad brush and say all of them they don't know what they're doing. We know. In fact, there was a comment here. They say if I see any of my people in the line, do not call me to ask for anything. Okay, I want to play that. I want to show that. I'm warning my family members, if I see your face on this nonsense that is going on, do not ever call me again. George Weah has more money than me, so go to him to buy food and feed yourself. That is it. In other words, you don't know better. I know I'm concerned about your hunger, the things you need in life. You don't even know what you need. You are hungry and you don't know it. I can tell that you are hungry and I'm giving you food. So I'm no longer going to give you food because you don't know what is good for you. Right? So if you tell somebody like that, guess what they're going to do? Definitely they're going to double down. But Mr. Sia, let's leave it here.
Definitely, that comment is a clear demonstration, right? And to that family member warning his family members, you are not accepting political dissent. If your family, I mean, like me, my entire family vote for CDC from day one. I have never punished my family members for that. That is their right. I have never punished them. Why will you punish your family members? Why will you condemn them because they've decided to support somebody? It is happening in America. It happens everywhere. People think that only Liberians voting this way. Liberia is far better than even the United States when it comes to deciding who you vote for. So I don't know. So our people need to understand that this is a reality. And this is a fact that we have to deal with. Majority of the voting population in Liberia, they are ordinary people. When you bring them in this faction, that they know nothing, we are know nothing, and so that what they're voting for, we are, of course, they will vote for we are. And then your choice of candidate will not win. This is a reality that we have to live with. So if you have a candidate you think who is better than we are, better than the CDC, a party that is better than CDC, you have a lot of work to do. And I don't know how you do it. This is a reality that we have to confront it. Do I like it? I don't like it. But that is the reality. And I believe living with reality than trying to think that there's something else out there that is a reality. Jimmy?
Yeah, I like the both points. I want to say something emphatically here, though. People are not stupid.
No,
people are not stupid. They know they can't. Their stomach, nothing in their stomach. They're not stupid. You see, they have gone through a lot, and they have to find ways to make sense out of their life the way it is, you know. And when you see them moving with passion toward somebody like this, it gives them some kind of gratitude, even though they're not food, they're not money. I remember when I went back for the inauguration, Weah's inauguration, the way I was swept up. Look, the place was like a Christmas every single day. It was like Christmas, and you could feel the fervor, you could feel the jubilation, you could feel how everybody was so happy. Of course, the you people were not they were happy once, but all of them. And so when you get swept up in that whirlwind of emotion, things, you know, it is enough to make people change their mind on who to vote for, you know. And that's what worked. It can work both ways. That's what I think. That's what at one point how UP gain its own momentum, but now it looks like it's swinging back the other way. The pendulum swings, and now it looks like it's swinging back in the direction of CDC.
Thank you. Join me on Wednesday. I will be interviewing the president or the executive director of the Liberian Association of Metropolitan Atlanta. That's Weah Brooklyn. We're going to talk about his leadership, you know, and everything else. So you don't want to miss that. Join me. Weah is a strategic planner. He thinks strategically. He was involved. He's been involved with strategic planning of organization. He has good insight on what it is or what it means to run an organization. You don't want to miss the interview. I'll be there.
All right. On that note, this is how we'll come to the end of the broadcast. I want to keep analyzing the thing over and over, but we have to go. And if you look at the Unity Party, 12 years, now 6 years, and the people's life have not changed, those people have an argument. They really do. I mean, if you put all together, you're talking about 12 plus 6, that's 18 years of Unity Party rule. And the provision of safe drinking water in Monrovia is not stable. They have a reason if they want to go the other way. Do I want that? I don't want that, but that is a reality, and we all need to accept that. The song says we are all Liberians, and that song takes us home right now. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.
We are Liberians.